Welcome to the Philippines, and this is Manila.
Manila is the capital city of the Philippines, shaped by centuries of colonization, resistance, and reinvention.
Handsome boy, say hello. Good.
For the next 24 hours, I'm exploring the heart of the Philippines, from colonial fortresses built in the 1500s to modern mega malls symbolizing a fast-growing Southeast Asian economy.
This mall is massive, and it's somewhere you definitely have to come to when you're in the Philippines and you're in Manila.
The city did not welcome me with sunshine. It embraced me with rain, gray skies, and wet streets. But maybe the rain is the perfect mood for a city built on history.
Raja Suleiman Theatre.
If you are new here, you are welcome. My name is Suleiman Anero, and I'm on a mission to visit every country in the world with my low mobility passport while telling real stories along the way. This is 24 Hours in Manila. Keep watching and you'll discover that the best stories are sometimes found under cloudy skies. I landed in Manila to steady tropical rains, and as I made my way into the city, I could tell traffic jams are a thing here.
I just left the airport trying to get into the town and find my hotel, but it's raining heavily, so heavily right now in Manila, and I can't just imagine how rain can start in 1 minute and get so heavy all of a sudden. But people are doing all they need to do inside the rain. A lot of people riding their scooters, their bikes. Interesting.
Instead of rushing out, I checked into the Peninsula Hotel in Manila, one of the city's most iconic hotels. It felt like true luxury inside, and as the traffic continued to build up outside under the rain, I decided it was best to remain in the hotel. I toured the hotel for a bit and watched the rain fall, then wondered what stories tomorrow would reveal.
Very tall mirror. Something here. I can't see what that is. And this is the room. Wow, it's so beautiful. A double-sized bed, a TV console with a table and a workstation that feels like an executive table with a chair and a massive sized window that has the street view. It's raining and the window is foggy. Anyway, this is us in Manila, and we have a few days to explore this city. Focus shows that it's going to rain throughout my time here, but we'll see if we find some window to do an exploration of Manila. This is Manila.
As I only had 24 hours to see Manila, I couldn't continue my wait for a perfect weather. I had read about the mall culture in the Philippines, so I hopped on a taxi to begin my exploration at the Mall of Asia, which ranks as one of the largest malls in the world.
I'm roaming around the SM Mall of Asia in Manila, Philippines. This mall is massive, and it's somewhere you definitely have to come to when you're in the Philippines and you're in Manila. Lots of stores, lots of different designers outlets, all here, from Victoria's Secrets for the ladies to Disney for the kids. Everything is here. If you want pizza, there's Pizza Hut, there's McDonald's, there's virtually everything, and you shouldn't miss an opportunity to visit the Mall of Asia in Manila, an awesome place.
This mall sits along the Manila Bay, representing modern Filipino ambitions. The mall is littered with global brands and many restaurants with waterfront views.
This is the 4th floor of the Mall of Asia in Manila, and it has an outdoor field area. This is a football field and a number of other places for different sports. So I don't know how these guys designed this place, but it's really, really amazing. The Mall of Asia in the Philippines is a beautiful place to visit when you're in Manila. Do come, and I 100% recommend. You would have an amazing time, from shopping to sports to everything.
There were many people in the mall, and I guess some of them were just window shoppers like me.
Behind me, there's lots of dredging activities still going on here. These guys are expanding and trying to build a lot more things in the waterfront area. I have no idea what it is they are building and how long it will take them to complete this entire complex, but it is massive land reclamation, and wow guys, wow, just wow.
I'm fully aware that Manila's identity wasn't built in shopping centers, but behind great walls. So I went on a history hunt, starting with a short drive to Fort Santiago.
Hi everybody, this is Manila in the Philippines. I'm taking a cab to the Fort Santiago, and I met an interesting driver who said he has met some Nigerian friends online and has worked in several places around the world. And I'm like, okay, wow, let's capture your thoughts about Manila and your thoughts of life. And he's willing to talk to us. So introduce yourself.
I'm Armand Reyes. I live in Taguig.
What would you say about Philippines and Manila to people who have never been here and who would like to visit?
The best you visit in, for example, in Baguio. Here in the Philippines, Baguio, Tagaytay. There's a lot of place here in Philippines.
Is it expensive to live in the Philippines?
Yes, expensive, and if you buy any kind of vegetable or meat or the others, very expensive, and the taxes here is very high.
How would you describe accommodation? Like, is it expensive to buy a house or to rent a house?
Yes, very expensive here.
Okay.
Very expensive. Also me, I don't have a own house because it's very expensive.
Wow. I've arrived in Fort Santiago, located within the walled city of Intramuros in the Philippines.
Manila has always been a city of contrast, having Asian roots, Spanish influences, and an American legacy. Fort Santiago was built in 1571 by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, the famous Spanish conquistador, marking the beginning of over 300 years of Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines.
This place holds a lot of historical significance in the Philippines. This is the place where the Filipino hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, was imprisoned before he was executed. We'll just try as much as possible to see what are remaining here in the Fort Santiago, probably including the prisons that used to hold prisoners back in the day. So follow me, let's explore.
With its stone walls still standing tall today, the fortress was once a military stronghold and later it became a prison. One of the famous prisoners held at the fortress was Dr. Jose Rizal, the Filipino nationalist whose writings inspired the country's revolution against Spain.
Interestingly, there is a theater named after me in this place. It's called Raja Suleiman Theater. Okay.
As I stood inside the fortress, knowing that Rizal spent his final days here before his execution in 1896, I started feeling like I was inside a timeless historical site, one which will always be personal to the people of the Philippines. As soon as I stepped out of the fortress, the rainfall became heavier, and I stood to watch rainwater pooling along pathways once walked by soldiers and prisoners.
Unfortunately for me, it has started raining and it's quite heavy. This may hinder my exploration of Fort Santiago, but we'll see what we can do. We'll probably just take shelter somewhere until the rain subsides. And let me mention that since I arrived in the Philippines, for the past 2 days, I've not been able to come out of my hotel because it's been raining non-stop. and I'm aware that there's some form of typhoon that's going on, and it's going to continue to rain until I leave this country. So it's unfortunate I may not be able to go to all the places, but we'll try our best.
From Fort Santiago, I explored the neighborhood of Intramuros, which literally means within the walls.
Walking the streets of Intramuros in the rain. There are lots of street food vendors that you can patronize while you are here. Well, let's just continue to explore Intramuros while it continues to rain.
This part of town was the original Manila city, a fortified Spanish city built in the late 1500s to protect the colonial power from foreign invaders and local uprisings. It had cobblestone streets and colonial architecture that didn't make it feel like Southeast Asia, but like Europe, transported over oceans. Intramuros was heavily destroyed during World War II, especially during the Battle of Manila in 1945, and much of what stands today has been carefully restored.
It's raining, I had to buy myself an umbrella. I was haggling, and they eventually sold this for me for 200 Filipino pesos. I don't know if I got a good deal or not, but my camera is not water resistant, so it's safer for me to buy this and protect my camera and continue filming in the rain. So let's move around and see what the cathedral looks like.
Within Intramuros stands the Manila Cathedral. The original cathedral was built in 1581, but has since suffered multiple destructions from earthquakes, fires, and war, resulting to several reconstructions to its current form.
Right behind me is the famous Manila Cathedral.
The current structure stands as a symbol of resilience. No matter how many times Manila gets knocked down, it will keep standing back up. As I went into the cathedral to see its interior design, the rain continued to pour down outside.
Okay. Lamborghini. How much?
200, sir.
Huh?
200.
200.
Yeah. Handsome boy.
Handsome boy. Say hello. Good. Having a good time in Intramuros in the Philippines. It's raining every day. Too much rain, huh? Okay.
Old uniform in Spanish before.
Old Spanish man?
Yes, Spanish uniform.
Oh, Spanish uniform?
Yes.
All right.
Uniform.
Okay, let's go.
As the rain intensified, I hopped on a tuk-tuk around Intramuros. We passed restored walls, Spanish-era plazas, and quiet courtyards. I kept thinking about how this city has been ruled by Spain, then America, then occupied by Japan during World War II. But yet, today, it feels unapologetically Filipino. History tried to define it, but its identity has endured.
Inside the wall means of Intramuros. And the other right side, monument of the 16th president in the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Yes. The name of the president. The last president, Duterte. Now in the president in the Philippines, the son of the Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Bongbong Marcos.
Bongbong Marcos.
Yeah. Every 6 years, change president in the Philippines.
6 years.
Yes, every 6 years.
I ended my day at the Rizal Park, the place where Dr. Jose Rizal was executed by the Spanish authorities in 1896.
Right now, I'm at the Rizal Park, a place that is meant to commemorate the national hero of the Philippines, Dr. Jose Rizal, who was executed in 1896 by the Spanish who were occupying the Philippines at the time. And he was one of those advocating for the self-determination and freedom of the nation of the Philippines at the time. And ever since that time, he has become a national hero. And this place commemorates where he was executed, and I'm told that his resting place is also within this Rizal Park area. and this makes it one of the places you should definitely visit when you are in the Philippines.
Today, the park is used for a wide range of celebration activities, but beneath it all lies a turning point in national history. Standing there with the rain falling softly, I could feel the weight of the sacrifice. I can say that not every city carries its heroes this visibly, but Manila sure does.
It has been an adventurous day, navigating through the streets of Intramuros and visiting all the places I could within the time I had. I got into the Philippines about 3 days ago, and I couldn't get out of my hotel until today because it had been raining cats and dogs. Within the time frame I had to be here, I tried as much as possible to immerse myself into the culture, into the life and the way things are done here. I would say this is one place I certainly look forward to visiting another time, so I have the opportunity to explore much more than I have had the opportunity to do on this visit. But while we are here, I would just like to say thank you, Manila, thank you, Philippines, for having me. I had an amazing time, and I encourage you to visit the Philippines, guys. And I also ask you at this point to please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and share it with your friends, and tell me where are the places in the Philippines and within the Manila area I could have visited if the weather had permitted me. I'll be in the comments and reading through all of the things that you have to say. In the meantime, I'll just leave you here and say, please keep supporting this channel and keep watching all my videos. And who knows, I may just be in your city the next time. Well, it's going to be peace and love, as I always say, and see you in the very next one.
24 hours wasn't enough to understand Manila, but it was enough to respect it. Manila is a city shaped by colonization, war, and resilience. It is a city that has endured earthquakes, invasions, and revolutions. It is a city rebuilt and reborn after destruction. And yet today, it stands, with modern malls beside centuries-old walls and rain falling on cobblestones laid in the 1500s. Manila isn't flashy, it is layered, it is complex, and sometimes it reveals itself best when the skies are gray. Manila didn't give me sunshine, it gave me history, and that was more powerful. Thank you for exploring Manila with me for 24 hours, and I do hope you've hit that subscribe button so you don't miss upcoming adventures. Do fasten your seatbelts and let's go explore the next city together.